The good news is it's easy to find a hypnotist. The bad news is that it's a little more complicated to find the right one. If all you need to do is just find a hypnotist, it's easy. Go into your search engine, type in hypnosis and the name of your city or town. If you're a town of any reasonable size or any major city, you're probably going to find at least several hypnotists. But then you have to ask yourself, are these people the right fit for me? Well, here are a few things that you can check to make sure that these people will be able to help you, because there are plenty of hypnotists out there who, let's just say, won't be the right fit for you. So the first thing to ask is, do they have a proper website? Because there are plenty of hypnotists out there who have a YouTube channel, great, but that's all they have. Now, maybe they have a perfectly good reason for that, but there are a lot of amateurs, a lot of people who have read one book on hypnosis and are just playing around with it. Some of those people don't have the skills, and some of those people, unfortunately, they're doing it out of a bit of a power trip rather than to help people. If they have a legitimate website, though, if you can tell that they have a business, a reputation that they need to protect, if you can tell that they're not just mucking about with hypnosis, they've invested in the skills, then they're more likely to be the sort of person who's right for you. Now, similar to that, do they charge money for their services? If they give everything away for free, then you have to be a little bit suspicious of that. Because would you go to a surgeon who gives away surgeries for free, who performs these operations at no cost? Kind of make you wonder what's going on there. It's the same with hypnotists. There are a lot of amateurs out there, and some of them are very good, and some of them are offering their services for free because they're practicing, they're still in training. But you do have to wonder why they're not taking things seriously, why they're not having a proper business aspect to the relationship. Do they specialize in your problem? If you live in any major city and you want to find a hypnotist to work with your insomnia, for example, doing a bit of research, you'll find several who specialize in exactly that. Now, if a hypnotist doesn't specialize in what your problem is, maybe that's a deal breaker for you, maybe it's not. But it's certainly something to keep in mind. Can you get a sample? Now, this I find is a really important question, because hypnosis is a complicated thing. A lot of it comes down to the relationship between you and the hypnotist. Now, I'm not saying you have to be best buddies or anything. I know plenty of hypnotists who go out of their way to get their clients to hate them. In fact, one of history's greatest hypnotists, Milton Erickson, was not afraid at pissing people off if it meant getting them closer to the solution. But you do need to have some level of connection with them, some level of rapport. You need to be able to let your guard down and trust this person in order for the hypnosis to be as effective as you would like it to be. So if someone is offering samples, then that could mean guided meditations, it could be they have ebooks, it could be they have videos on a YouTube channel, some way of experiencing what they offer for free or for cheap. Then you get to get a bit of a vibe for what their style is. And if you think they'll be a good match, then great. You can take things further then. You can always ask what your gut says about this hypnotist. Now, your gut shouldn't have the only vote, and you should be very skeptical if your intuition tells you that no one is able to help you, that no one is right for you. But if you're looking at 3 hypnotists, and one of them just gives you this really good vibe, you just get this really good impression from them, then factor that into your decision making, because your gut is pretty smart when it comes to these things. So give it a vote, give it a reasonable one. Now, you can ask how their website looks. I've looked at a lot of hypnosis websites. A lot of them are very old, very tacky, but I know the hypnotist who built them is a genius. And I also know that there are a lot of really slick, really flashy websites out there. Like, you open it up and there's a stock image of someone leaping into the sunshine, and it's all very beautiful. It's very easy to put something that looks that slick together. But if you look beneath the surface, what is actually going on their website? Do they blog? If so, how often do they blog? What do they blog about? What products do they have for sale on their website? What range of things? What do they charge? How professional is it? How easy is it to get in contact with them? All sorts of questions that can help inform your decision and separate the really great hypnotists from everyone else. And if you can find the information about how they were trained. Now, this is particularly important because in many countries, Australia being one of them, hypnosis is largely unregulated. And that's fantastic because it's one of those things that would be impossible or ridiculous to regulate. But it does mean that someone can take a 3-day course and start calling themselves a hypnotist. Now, for me, I completed a 2.5-year diploma before I ever charged for any of my sessions. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the beginning of my education. I've learned a lot more since completing that. And so if you can find that sort of information on their site, that's really handy to know. Because like I say, some people, they might mean well and they might have a few cool tricks, but really how experienced are they? And that's the other side of things. Maybe you can't find what their qualifications are, but you can tell that they've been in business for decades and they've got just rave reviews and that they've been around for so long that they must be doing something right. Now, these questions are a guide only. You can break any of these rules and still get a really great outcome. There are amazing hypnotists out there who don't have a website at all, who don't have a web presence at all, because they don't need it. They're so good that their clients refer them to their friends and their family, and so they don't need any marketing of any kind. They just get clients. And on the other hand, you can get someone who's not that great at hypnosis, but is really good at marketing themselves. In which case, they might tick a lot of these boxes, but will they actually be able to help you? But still, if you follow these as a basic guide to get you started, and if you can have a consultation, at least an email chat with the hypnotist, I'm sure you'll be able to find the right person to help you out.